Hi, this is Minette Michelle Davis Jackson. In Hebrew, that's Jehovah Israel. Today we're going to go over how to respect yourself. Developing a strong sense of self-respect can help you fulfill your potential, develop healthy relationships, and make everyone around you see you as a person who is worthy of respect. If you truly want to respect yourself, then you have to accept yourself and work on becoming the person you always dreamed of becoming. If you want to know how to feel happy with who you are and make the world treat you as you deserve to be treated, then let's go on to step one, which is first step is part one of three. There's three parts to this. The first part is getting in the right mindset. First, get to know yourself. The more you understand about yourself, the more you'll see and appreciate how unique you really are, and the more you'll respect yourself. Discover your principles, personality, and talents. Stop pandering to other people's approval and start developing your own standards. Someone else might respect a fancy little title, but you might respect creativity. Whose opinion matters more in this case? It can take a while to complete this exciting process of self-discovery, but you'll quickly see that it is worth it. Once you get to know who you really are, you can be better at learning which people are not helping you move forward and how to seek your own goals, which can lead to more happiness. Let's talk about criticism, how to handle it. Let's learn how to handle criticism. To truly respect yourself and have self-respect, you have to be aware of the person you really are and to know that nobody is perfect. If someone gives you helpful and constructive feedback, whether your boyfriend is telling you how you could have been a better listener when he really needed you, or your boss is telling you that your report could have been written more carefully, it's important to really listen to the things people are telling you and to be able to use the feedback for self-improvement. If you truly respect yourself, then you see yourself as a person who can be even better. Constructive criticism can help you achieve those goals. Of course, if someone is just being mean or trying to hurt you, then you have to learn to throw that feedback out the window. Sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference between someone who tells you something that is true in a harsh way and someone who tells you something mean in a nice way. It takes discernment to be able to tell the difference. What about forgiving yourself? If you want to respect yourself, then you have to be able to forgive yourself for anything you've done in the past that you've been less than proud of. Admit that what you did was wrong, apologize to others if necessary, and then work on moving forward and on to becoming the person you want to be. If you're too hard on yourself for making the wrong decisions or saying something hurtful, then you'll never be able to move on. This doesn't mean that you have or you should ignore the fact that you might have hurt people in the past, but it does mean that you can only admonish yourself too much before you start feeling terrible about yourself. You have to learn to accept yourself. Have to learn to accept yourself. Ahaya Jorge, our heavenly creator, the El Elohi of Israel, he made him. And what Ahaya make, he make perfect. And he give us free will. And it's our choices that made us the people that we are today. So we have to accept that what he made is perfect. When we align ourselves to his will and purpose for our lives, he'll help walk us into what he designed us to be for him, for his great pleasure. Then you'll learn to accept yourself, that everybody is not the same, that he made everybody a little slightly different so we can serve and look upon each other as good as he made us. So let's talk about accept yourself. You need to be comfortable in your own skin and learn to love and accept the person who you are. This doesn't mean you have to think that you're perfect, but you have to learn to embrace yourself, flaws and all. Be happy with all of the things you love about yourself and be okay with the parts of you that are less than perfect, especially the ones you can't change. Stop making excuses for yourself or saying you'll love yourself if only you lost 20 pounds and start loving the person you are right here, right now, today. You might not be here tomorrow to lose those 20 pounds, so start loving yourself today. Work on building your confidence. You won't be able to accept yourself if you're not happy with who you are, how you look, or what you're doing. Start by maintaining positive body language and good posture, smiling more, and thinking at least 3 good thoughts about yourself each hour. Through building true confidence takes a lot of work. You have to start somewhere. And let's try about positive attitude. Maintain a positive attitude. A positive attitude can make or break your success in life, as well as your thoughts about who you are. Even if things aren't going your way, be confident about the fact that something good is bound to happen eventually, and be pleased with your everyday life and all that it can offer you. If you feel overly negative about everything and only imagine the worst in every situation, then you're bound to never feel good about who you are or to give yourself the self-respect you deserve. For example, if you apply to a job you really want, don't say there's no chance I'll get it. There are many more qualified applicants. Instead, say it would be so exciting to get that job. Even if you don't ask for an interview, I'm still proud of myself for even applying. See, people, we have to start thinking positive and negative, even in energy. Spirits have energy. And the more negative you think, the more you attract. You are attracting your thoughts. So we have to start thinking positively and start attracting that which is good, aligned with the will of Ahia Jorge I Elohim, the Elohim of Israel, Isaac, and Jacob. Stop trying to keep up with everyone. One of these reasons you may be lacking self-respect is because you feel bad that you're single while all of your friends are engaged, or that you feel inadequate that you don't make as much money as other people you know. Instead, maintain your own standards and work on achieving the goals you want to achieve instead of doing the things that you think would impress your Facebook friends or give you momentary bragging rights. It's much more impressive to succeed at doing what you want to do instead of following the path that everyone else had taken. Again, Ahia Jorge, our Elohim that born us, he implanted a special gift of a talent of each one of us to give him pleasure and praise him in these vessels and these bodies. We don't have to be like everybody else. Let's ask him to align our will to him and let him achieve our steps for us, and we walk therein. In that way, each one is serving each other as brothers and sisters and serving him and praising him in these vessels, because we align our will to him, and then we're becoming what he designed us to be for him and his glory and pleasure for our lives, heaven on earth. So along with trying to maintain your own standards for happiness, you should work on casting your envy aside. Be appreciative, be grateful. Stop wishing you had what others have, or work on achieving what you really want. That's covetousness. And it's one of the commandments, thou shalt not covet. Let's ask Yah. It's what we want. And if it's aligned to his will, how he designed us, he will give it. The feelings of bitterness and resentment that comes along with jealousy will only make you dislike yourself and wish you were someone else. Believe in your choices. If you want to respect yourself, then you have to believe in the decisions you've made. It's okay to ask other people for advice, and this can actually help you gain a more balanced perspective, but you shouldn't spend your time doubting yourself, thinking that what you've done is all wrong and wishing that you had done something else. You have to be firm in your beliefs and make an effort to understand yourself and to know what will really make you happy. Give yourself the reward of decision well made and stick to it, no matter how difficult it may be. Don't let others get to you. Though it may sound impossible, your sense of self-worth and happiness should come from yourself, not from the people around you. Sure, some compliments or rewards can make you feel better, but at the end of the day, your happiness and self-satisfaction has to come from within. Don't let other people tell you who you are, make you feel small, or make you question your beliefs. If you want to respect yourself, then you have to trust that you've made the right decisions and learn to let the haters hate. Always look to the Father within. He will always be there for you. Don't ever feel alone. His spirit dwells in you. It's how you're living and breathing today. Instead of everybody turn their back on you, you can turn to him. He's always there. That small still voice, people call the small still voice the conscience. He's always there to help you. If you're always letting people change your mind or make you rethink your decisions, then people will think that you don't have strong conviction. Once you find things you really believe in, it'll be harder to let all of the negative people in your life really get to you. Now let's talk about part 2 of respecting yourself and learning how to respect. Let's talk about taking action. Respect others now. If you want to respect yourself, then you have to start with respecting the people around you. Not just the people who have more experience or more accomplished, but all of the human beings on this earth who have not caused you harm. And that's one of the commandments of Elohim Abba Yah in Matthew 22, 37 through 40. He say, love him with all thy heart, might, and soul, and love thy neighbor as yourself. It's just you and him on this planet, him in all different images. And of course, certain people don't deserve your respect, but you should work to treat people like you want to be treated, whether you're talking to your boss or the checkout girl at your local grocery store. Because that checkout girl at the local grocery store is another image of your Abba Yah, seeing how you're going to react to him. Think about that the next time you treat somebody bad. Okay, here are some basic ways to respect others. Be honest with people. Do not steal from or harm or insult them. Listen to what they say, consider their opinion, and avoid interrupting them. Treat yourself with basic respect. We often do things to ourselves that we would never dreamed of doing to someone we care about. When the last time you called a friend ugly, told them they weren't good enough, discouraged them from following their dreams, or sabotaged their happiness? When the last time you've done that? You know, we do it all the time, sometimes consciously, sometimes unconsciously, because we're so used to beating our brothers and sisters down. We used to just criticizing and putting each other down. We have to stop all that. When we do that, we're putting the Father down because he created us. And well, he created good. It's the spirit within the choices we make. So now you have to make a choice. Whether you're going to spit on your Father that created this image you're walking in, or you're going to respect him in the image he's coming to you in. As whether you're brother, father, sister, mother, or cousin. It's still him. So whatever you believe to be respect, apply it to yourself. Don't harm yourself. And don't insult yourself no matter how bad you're feeling about who you are. This kind of treatment is only bound to make you feel worse. Here are some other ways to treat yourself with basic respect. Don't steal from yourself, like recklessly putting everything on credit. You're essentially taking money from your future self because you'll have to pay up eventually. Be honest with yourself instead of being in denial about what you really want. Think for yourself by developing your own source of knowledge and doing research instead of just following the opinions of others. It can help to become a skeptic, questioning the world around you. Because Abba Yah said his people are destroyed in a lack of knowledge. I believe in Hosea 8. His people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So we sat here in these churches all our lives and we just listened to what pastors said. But what did it get us? What did it get us? Look at us around us today. Sitting in all those churches all this time. Where did it get us? Learn to research, not just listen to what they're saying. What they're saying is not going to save you. It's what Abba Yah give you from within. Listening to his conscience, his voice of within pointing you. Not what some of these pastors going over and over in these churches and it's not absorbing in your mind and heart because you're still doing the same thing and you're where you are today. So who are you going to believe? Them or Abba Yah within you? Abba Yah said in the latter times he's going to pour out his spirit on the whole earth. And everybody from the least to the greatest will know him. He's writing his laws within on the minds and hearts. So everybody will know. Point to Yah. Psalm 68:4. Yah. Or Exodus 3:14. Ahia, Asha, Haya. I am that I am. And his name is Ahia. I am Jorge. So let's go to the next one. Recognize when people disrespect you. And take steps to stop it. Again, Abba Yah is teaching us how to be strong. A person with self-respect doesn't allow others to treat them badly and would rather not associate with someone who is disrespectful. This might seem obvious, but there are many times when we accept being treated badly in both big and small ways because we believe the person doesn't know any better, or because we're not willing to let the person go, or because we're too down on ourselves to believe we deserve better. When someone doesn't give you basic respect, you must learn to let that person go. Nobody said it was easy to turn your back on someone who had clearly disrespected you if you care about that person a lot. But once you break the bad habit of associating with someone who makes you feel terrible, you'll feel your self-respect soar. Learn to recognize a manipulative or controlling relationship, whether it's on Facebook, in person, mentally. Learn the discernment of that. That's one of the gifts of the Abba Yah, is spiritual discernment. It can be hard to see when a person close to you is being disrespectful, especially if they subtle and sneaky and it's been going on for a long time. Stop being needy. Many times in dating or friendship, we let people walk all over us because we feel needy. Learn to face the fact that you don't need to depend on someone else's for your happiness. Start relying on Abba Yah. He's there to give you everything you need. You're probably in the situation that you're in because he's trying to say, hey, you don't need to go there. Look to me. And I'm going to keep giving you nothing, not going to them, but to come to me. And then maybe I'll bless you. I'm trying to get your attention. Now that I have your attention, let me bless you. Follow in the footsteps that I laid before you, and now I can bless you. So we have to repent. We have to repent, say, I'm sorry to Abba Yah for mistreating him in these vessels of his. Because these bodies are not our own, they're his. When we mistreat each other, we're mistreating him because he made these vessels. He made him, them. He breathed in these nostrils. We're breathing him in and out of these nostrils. Stop being a people pleaser. You know what Yah said about idols? People are idols too, that they set themselves above others. We're here for his purpose of entertaining and glorifying him in these vessels, not idolizing each other. We're to serve him. We entertain each other by entertaining him in these vessels. So paying attention to everyone else's needs but your own is a classic sign of low self-respect. So stop being a people pleaser. Again, I'm going to say this. Stop being a people pleaser. Paying attention to everyone else's needs but your own is a classic sign of low self-respect. Learn to practice non-violent communication. When you do confront someone about their disrespectful behavior, try to stick to positive and productive communication guidelines. You know what Abba Yah said about profanity? Take care of your body. A person who neglects his health fails to see how lucky he is to be alive. When you make an effort to keep your body in good working order, you'll not only feel better physically, but you'll also feel a sense of pride. Respecting your body also means not insulting it for what it is naturally. Make an effort to get fit and stay healthy. But don't trash yourself over things you cannot control, like your proportions. Focus on the things you can change and improve, and do it because it feels good, not because you think you're not good enough the way you are. That doesn't mean that going to the gym and looking amazing will automatically lead you to have high self-respect. But it does mean that if you don't put in any time or care into your appearance, that you'll start to lose respect for who you are. We have to keep our confidence built on who Yah made us to be for him. It's for his pleasure. When we're looking at our neighbor, we're looking at him in a different image. Even the basic effort of maintaining good hygiene shows the people around you that you care about yourself even enough to maintain your appearance. And here's a big one. Forgive others. How you think Abba Yah forgave us and about to give us another chance at life? Unless he forgave us, so we have to forgive others. And when we're forgiving others, we're forgiving him. He's only making us better in this age, better for the next kingdom. So forgive others. If you want to respect yourself, then you have to learn to forgive the people who wronged you. People that did you harm, spat on you, did you badly. You have to learn to forgive them. This doesn't mean that you have to be best friends for life with them. But it does mean that you should mentally forgive them and learn to move forward. If you're spending all your time thinking about all of your grudges and resentments, then you won't be able to think clearly or to live in the present. So do yourself the favor of forgiving people so that you can move forward. Even if someone has done you unspeakably harm, you need to work on moving on from the experience and the person. You can't let yourself wallow in anger and resentment forever. As Abba Yah in heaven forgave you, you must forgive others. How can he forgive you if you don't forgive others? Because when you're forgiving others, you're forgiving him. You must understand he's training us and he's teaching us. Address the flaws you can address. Respecting yourself does not mean thinking that you are perfect and that there is absolutely nothing you need to work on and improve. It means being able to accept the things that you can not change about yourself while working to address the things that you need to work on. Take some time to really think about yourself and to consider the flaws that you like to work on the most. Maybe you know you're not a very good listener. You know you stress out way too much over the smallest things, or you're too much of a people pleaser. Make a plan to make some headway in these departments, and soon you'll be on your way to having more respect for yourself. Of course, you can't just address a flaw in a day or two. It takes a big commitment and persistence. But taking the first steps to become a person that you respect more will make you feel more confident about who you are. Improve yourself. This is different from addressing your flaws. Improving yourself means taking the steps to try new things and to open your mind to new possibilities instead of being completely content with who you are. Improving yourself can mean taking a yoga class, volunteering, spending more time learning lessons from the elders you care about, learning to see multiple perspectives about a situation, reading the classic literature instead of trashing tabloids, and always striving to learn new things. If you feel like you're a dynamic person who is always changing and evolving, you'll have more respect for yourself. Let's talk about part 3, conducting yourself appropriately. Don't demean yourself. If you want to respect yourself, then you should stop demeaning yourself, especially in front of others. It's one thing to laugh at yourself, which is a way of showing that you don't take yourself too seriously, that you're not obsessed with looking perfect at all the times. However, it's another to say things like, I look so fat today, or why would anyone want to talk to me anyway in front of other people? Or they'll see that you don't have a high self-worth and will feel uncomfortable. If you put yourself down, you are encouraging others to do the same. So again, negative energy attract. So you have to remember to think positive, light over darkness, positive energy over negative energy. The next time you have a negative thought about yourself, write it down instead of saying it out loud. Remember, words are actions. If you say it out loud, you'll be more likely to think it true in reality. Don't let other people see you do something you will regret later. This can mean a range of things, from getting too drunk and acting sloppy in public to hooking up with someone at a bar in front of everyone, even if you don't really like that person and just want the attention. This also goes for any antics that are silly and meant only for getting attention. Stick to doing things that will lead you to be proud later, not just to get some cheap laughs or attention like many of these stars do that's today. Try to maintain a consistent image of yourself. It will be hard for people to respect you as the smartest guy in the class if you were dancing around with a lampshade on your head at a party the night before. Avoid getting overly emotional. This is a high one, especially in the days of tribulation. It's okay to lose your cool from time to time, but you should try to avoid letting people see you lose it completely, or they'll lose respect for you, thinking that you can't cope with your own emotions. If you feel yourself getting angry, excuse yourself and go for a short walk, get some fresh air, or call someone who can help you feel grounded. Instead of getting all worked up over every little thing, if you get heated too often, then you may say something you really regret, and people will think of you as a big or a rude hothead. Again, walk away. Who cares what the faces of people think? It's better that they have these crazy faces while you walk away, get yourself together. Regardless of what they say, what's wrong with them, they don't know what's going on in your head. Don't worry about what they think that's going on in your head. Just walk away, and when you get yourself together, come back. Part of respecting yourself is to learn to be in control of what's going on in your head. Though nobody is in control 100% of the time, you can work toward it. And admit when you're wrong. If you truly want to respect yourself, then you have to be able to know when you made a mistake. If you messed up, let people know in a way that shows that you're truly sorry and that you've put enough thought into the situation to avoid doing the same thing again in the future. If you say you're sorry, you're sorry. If they don't let it go, that's on them. Don't allow their emotion to attach to you. Because when you say I'm sorry out loud, Abba Yah knows your heart. Don't let their negative energy of not accepting your true apology emotion stay on you. Don't just be in denial about what you did and hope that everyone can brush it under the rug. Give yourself and the people around you enough respect to be able to admit that you are only human. People make mistakes. That's how we grow. That's how we grow to where we are today. Many mistakes. And we know not what to do again. That's called the cycle of life. Yeah, he show us, but we forget. Then we learn and teach us. But we can learn and teach us these things, but now we're like in a test trial, simulation. Now it's time to prove, work in faith of what he taught us. And then there comes the repentance and keep going around and around. So we'll never forget this age. Because he taught us, he showed us, he taught us, and now we're involved in what he taught us. If you learn to admit that you're wrong, people will have much more respect for you and will be able to trust you more. Spend time with people who respect you. Being around people who make you feel terrible about yourself is guaranteed to lower your self-respect. Because you'll feel bad not only because what that person says, but deep down, you'll also be mad at yourself for letting that person hang around you. Find people who make you feel positive, good about yourself and the world, and who actually take the time to listen to you and to help you sort out your feelings. This is especially true for your relationships. It will be close to impossible to have true self-respect if you're dating someone who makes you feel worthless. That means it's time to get up and walk away. Stay humble. Some people think that bragging about how awesome they are will make people like them more because it'll show them all of the great accomplishments they've made. However, if you really want people to respect you and to think you're awesome, then you should practice modesty and humility, letting other people recognize how awesome you are instead of you telling them so yourself. Nobody likes a person who is arrogant or brags all the time, and doing so will actually make you look insecure, as if you don't think people would figure out how awesome you are on their own without a little help. Being part of being humble means learning to take a compliment. Again, learning to take a compliment. If someone compliments you on something, don't say, "Oh, I know," and smile smudgely. Instead, thank the person and tell them or how much the compliment meant to you. Here goes some tips. The idea of self-respect is very closely related to self-confidence, but respect is more about what you do, whereas confidence is more about how you feel. Of course, the two go hand in hand. Develop a unique and original way of expressing your opinion while at the same time being a good listener. And I know many of you out there understand how the chakras in the body, how since we are light energy or spirit beings, I know some of you understand how the chakras work in the body. So I'm going to go over some of the chakras that some of you understand. The root chakra represents our foundation and feeling of being grounded, located base of the spine in the tailbone area. Emotional issues survive issues such as financial independence, money, and food. So we have to build up, when we build up our confidence in these areas, this sometimes when our body hurt in these areas, this is kind of like showing us our back hurting. That means our base, about financial problems. We're worrying about this. When Yah say lean on him, he know what we need before we ask. When we start, allowing him to take over these vessels, do his will, then all those dark patches inside of our vessels start lighting up. One called the sacral chakra, our connection and ability to accept others and new experience. The location is in the lower abdomen, about 2 inches below the navel and 2 inches in. Emotional issues from this area is sense of abundance, well-being, and pleasure, and sexuality come, in the lower, abdomen chakra. And the solar plexus area, our ability to be confident and in control of our lives. Many people and that's in the upper abdomen area. When many people about to go on the stage, they get butterflies in their stomach. That's their solar plexus is lighting up, and we have to ward off the darkness of being selfless, like people don't like us, and then we have to allow Yah's light within us overcome that we feel left confident about. So the location of the solar plexus in the upper abdomen in the stomach area, and the emotional issues that come with that is self-worth, self-confidence, and self-esteem. And those are the light portions of it. So we can't let the negative energy overcome us in the solar plexus area. In the heart chakra, our ability to love, the location, the center of the chest just above the heart. The emotional issues, love, joy, and inner peace. We have In the throat chakra, our ability to communicate, the location, the throat, emotional issues, communication, self-expression of the feeling of truth. And many know the third eye in the Bible. That's when Jacob, when he had the dream, he called the place Peniel. He saw Yah in his head. He actually saw eye. He was talking about in his head, the pineal gland. They call it the third eye, and that's our ability to focus on and see the big picture. The location of forehead between the eyes that they call the soul. Also called the brown chakra. Emotional, intuition, imaginations, wisdom, ability to think and mark and make decisions. And the crown chakra, when these things light up, is light over darkness. The highest chakra represents our ability to be fully connected spiritually. And this is the location at the top of the head. And the emotional is your inner and outer beauty, our connection to spirituality, pure bliss. Now, the 7 upper chakras from the lowest to the highest, or a lot of these that I'm about to pronounce is very difficult for me to pronounce them, so I'll do the best I can and I'll spell them for you. So what we went over were the upper chakras, and you know how Yah says in the Bible, those that don't bear good fruit, he's going to chop them down. And again, these chakras, also represent fruit. What's rooted in the ground will sprout up. So he'll chop all these branches, and that's people that's not bearing good fruit. And we're going to talk about the root, the lower base of these chakras. One is called the Maillard chakra, base of the spine, and what's affected is the memory, time, and space. So when our memories start affecting us, that's in the Maillard chakra, base of the spine. Here is one that's called Svadhisthana. I'm going to spell it Svadhisthana chakra, below the navel, and that's the reason. And a Manipura chakra, Manipura chakra, also the solar plexus, willpower. Anahata chakra, the center, the heart center, direct cognition. And the Vasudha chakra, throat, the divine love. Ajna chakra, the third eye, divine sight. Sahasrara chakra, the crown of the head, illumination and godliness. The 7 lower chakras from highest to lowest are the Atala chakra, the hips, fear and lust. The Vatala chakra, thighs, raging, anger. The Satala chakra, knees, the retaliatory and jealousy. So a lot of our knees be hurting, be retaliatory, jealousy. Those are the dark energy. So, when those knees start getting right, start lighting up. The Tatala chakra, prolonged mental confusion in the calves. The Rastala chakra, ankles, selfishness. The Mahatala chakra, the feet, the absences of consciousness. And the Batala chakra, located in the soles of the feet, murder and malice. So I just wanted to go over some of those when lighting up, as far as how we feel. And I know a lot of people are awakening. As we awaken, as Yah awaken us, we are feeling all the, because the planets are aligning and we are having all these blood moons. We're being cleansed, about to be born again. We're going through a lot, and we'll go over some of the things that you might be feeling. Some of the symptoms of being aware and waking up when Yah's spirit in Him is waking up your energy. Feeling of energy traveling along spine. You may have tremors, spontaneous or involuntary body movements, deep peace, respiratory changes, altered state of consciousness, feeling electricity in the body, persistent sexual arousal, headache, pressure inside the head, tingling, gastrointestinal problems, psychological uphealing, feeling insane, stress, depression, derealization, illusions, intense mood swings, moments of bliss, changes in the body temperature, feeling cold and hot. So again, we're awakening up. And like I say, Yah is preparing us for the new kingdom that's going to be here on earth. We're evolving, getting ready for the second Exodus. So bless you people for listening. Bless Ahaya Jorge, our Elohim of Jacob, Isaac, and Israel. He's home. He's preparing us. And I pray that your eyes are open and your ears are attentive to the ears of Ahaya Jorge, our Elohim. Bless you, El Elohim of Israel, Ahaya Jorge.